Hi there guys, it's Sophie Sphere here. So today I am going to talk to you about my knee tattoo. First of all, I'm going to show you my knee tattoo because I really think that like when people do these videos they take fucking 10 years to actually show you what it is. So I'm just going to do that. You know I ain't a fan of introductions. So I'll show you in a couple of ways. Okay, so I'm going to show you when my knee's like hyperextended. And then when my knee is kind of like relaxed. And then when my knees bend, you can kind of see. It's fucking awesome. So yeah, that's my knee. Love a good knee, don't you? Yeah, so I feel like the number one thing I want to talk about first is pain. Because everyone always talks about knee tattoo pain and how horrible it is, and yep, you guessed it, it's fucking horrendous. Whoever is going around telling anyone that it's not fucking sore, it fucking is, for like a lot of the population. Like everyone takes pain differently, blah 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 blah, like terms and conditions, you know, but like it was fucking sore. I've always been a fan of piercings and like all that kind of stuff. I've had a lot of painful piercings, and I'm also a massive tomboy, so I feel like I've had like injuries. And the knee tattoo pain was very bad, but I mean it wasn't like you couldn't handle it, like you could. It was just like, to me it was like just on the edge of like my tolerance for pain. So it was kind of like I just had to get on with it. So for me probably like a 9 out of 10, because to me a 10 is like I can't sit there and take it. And yeah, like it was more like after pain because it was just so swollen and so sore, just because the skin had been like absolutely battered, and like, but there's nothing you can do about it, you know, like that's just a tattoo. Sorry, I'm just gonna, yeah, Doctor Who's gonna help us out here. Fucking leaning into the camera. Better. Okay, so what was I talking about? Yeah, like a 9 out of 10 because I feel like I could sit there and take it. It was just right on the edge of my pain tolerance, personally. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, but the after pain was really bad because it was so swollen, the skin had been absolutely battered. You have like hard skin on your knees from just like doing stuff and kneeling down and whatever. So I feel like those parts were the most intense because that's where the skin had sort of, it felt like the skin had got hard around my hair follicles. So all those little bits was like shooting pain, which was probably the worst part. Like the blacked out bit wasn't the worst part of the pain, definitely not. It was that little bit of the like hard skin on my knee which was the worst part. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is kind of like techniques for like getting through pain, because like I feel like I'm really good at taking pain. Like I have a really high pain threshold, but it's not necessarily because I can't feel a certain level of pain. It's just because I know how to deal with pain, and my fuse is like very long for dealing with it, so it doesn't like, it takes a really long time for it to like actually properly affect me. So obviously like deep breathing is good for you anyway, and I would recommend deep breathing a lot and like getting headspace from like this fucking world that we live in. But yeah, like deep breathing is fucking number one on the list for me, because as soon as I feel pain, just because I've had so many piercings, as soon as I know I'm gonna start to feel pain, I instantly breathe in before it goes on, and when it's happening I breathe out. So it kind of like, I don't know, it's like kind of like a release from your body, so you don't hold all the tension, because the more tension you hold in your body, the more pain you're gonna feel. So that's a good thing. And I'm really good at like totally dissociating from situations, which is probably not like the most healthy thing I could be saying on the internet, but I do, and that really helps me with pain, because if I don't want to think about what I'm doing right now, I can go to another place in my head and be like, I'm just on a beach, like enjoying myself. So that's a good one. So I mean, but I've taught myself to do that as well, so it's not really like, you know, sometimes it naturally happens, because obviously if you're in pain your body will naturally dissociate, but sometimes I can make myself do it. So you can, you know, do a lot of meditation, do some breathing and come back to me. Because sometimes you're like half chatting or like, you know, not having really long conversations but talking a little bit with your tattoo artist. So then you want to be present, so you can't really do the whole like completely dissociating from like the whole situation. I'm so unhealthy. But keeping your mind off what they're doing is great. Like if I'm in a really bad tattoo, I message my flatmate and I'm like, yo, like, what are you doing at work? And she'll just chat to me, because like it just keeps my mind right off it, and I'm not necessarily lying there being like, I can't think about anything else. And memes. I mean, memes are healing for everyone, and for almost every situation, you know, memes help for pain management. Okay, so I'm going to say a couple of things about healing. I'm not a tattoo artist, I'm not a doctor, I don't know anything about this. However, this is what I did. It works. When I get my tattoo done, my tattoo artist puts some Vaseline on and then covers it in cling film, just so it's totally protected, and then you leave it on there for like a couple of hours, however long it is. I think it's like 2 hours or something, with the like original cling film on and stuff like that. And then you're supposed to, well, like on this is just my aftercare, like I'm not talking about anything else, I'm not fucking starting a debate, like who cares, like take it off and then wash it to get all the ink and all the like pus and crap like off of it after you've just had it, and then clean it, put a tiny little bit of cream on it, and then cover it up again, and then I wear that all night and like don't touch it again for the first day. The cream that I use is the Palmer's coconut butter. Easiest to get, and it's like really not offensive. There's nothing funky in it that's gonna mess around with like my tattoo. So then I do that for the first day, and then for the next 2 days I wash it 3 times a day with like non-fragranced soap and all the rest of it, cream and cling film, and I wear the cling film for at least 2 days. With my knee tattoo, I wore it for 3 because the swelling was so bad, like, and it was so tender that there was absolutely no chance that I was, you know, getting away from that. Like, it was staying on there because it was too open. Like, you have to remember your tattoos is an open wound, and like, would you go about with a big gash on your leg, like completely open and like able to get dirty and sweaty? Like, you just wouldn't do it. So don't do it with your tattoo either. So for like 3 days I kept it on my knee, and it's obviously so inconvenient because like your knee bends and needs to move. Like, I was still working, I was still doing stuff, so I have a really physical job, so it's like, you know, running around and like doing all that kind of shit was really annoying, but you just gotta do it, gotta keep it clean, keep them mean. No, I'm not telling them not to make a joke like that. When I take it off, I take it off at night for a couple of hours the day before I'm going to stop wearing the cling film, just so it like dries completely out, and then I wash it, cream, cling film while I'm in bed. And for the next couple of days I put it in cling film while I'm in bed, just because I don't want to like knock it and fucking like have it all over all my shit. Like, there's no need for that. And then I stop wearing the cling film during the day, and I wash it and put cream in it and all that stuff up until it's basically like completely healed. This one took, I honestly think it would have taken a lot longer than what it did, but it only took 2 weeks, which is really good. But you just need to look after things properly, and they'll heal the way they're supposed to, and like, don't fuck around with things, and don't mess around with like things that are wrong with your body, because like, that's just fucking stupid. And then something I thought was kind of like interesting because I get all my tattoos on my leg because I just want like a full sleeve on my leg. So like if you want to shave your legs, like I had to call up and be like, after I got my first one I was like, when can I fucking shave this? Because it's hairy as fuck. Like I'm dark, naturally dark, so my hair just comes in, it comes in, girl, like in. I called up and she was like, and this was a really good rule which I've kept ever since, and then, you know, my tattoos haven't fucked up. So I was like, when can I shave this? And she was like, you can shave it when it becomes one with the skin. And like, when you have a healing tattoo, you'll know exactly what I mean. So yeah, that was like a really interesting thing. But yeah, that's all about my knee tattoo. Hurt like fuck. And it was totally worth it because I've wanted this tattoo for fucking years and years. So I'm so happy I got it. I get my tattoos done at Insider in Edinburgh. They're fucking great little studio. It's always such a nice vibe. Everyone is so sweet and so funny and lovely. It's just a really nice place to be. Honestly, I feel really welcome there. I wanted to give you a shout out. Well, thanks very much for watching, guys, and subscribe if you want to, and like this video please. Thank you. See you guys later, bye.